that kind of brings us to, I guess, the wrapping up stage, I guess, which is kind of to talk a bit about the Silent/Savage Sword, and where you if you have any plans you want to talk about, or anything you want to talk about that people can interact with, and where they should go to learn more about HAMA and how to get involved.
Yeah. So for more information about HAMA, if you go to HAMA WordPress, you can get information about the organization HAMA. There's a difference between HAMA as the organization and then Septicote or Gilded a Silent Sword, which is my particular group, based primarily here in Austin. So if you go to silentsword.org, you can go to our website. And then I have a YouTube presence. It's my name, Damon Stith. And then HAMA has a YouTube page, which is HAMA. And you can see that. Facebook group as well will be a good place to go. If you go to Historical African Martial Arts Association, become a member of that, then you can get updates and information. And we've been doing video courses and stuff like that. We have a lot of really cool things coming down the pipe. Our second gathering hopefully will be going on next year. And then some events that are going specifically for Gilded Silent Sword. We have this thing called Battleground, which is it's really cool. We had a plan for the summer, but COVID, and we weren't able to do it. But it's pretty much like what I hear in the HEMA world sometimes is like a lot of too much emphasis on tournaments and tournament fighting, and and I've judged a few matches, and I've fought in a few tournaments, and there's always the aftermath of those kind of events and stuff, and I do think that the competition and competing and testing yourself is not necessarily for everybody in that way, but it is a good thing to kind of experience. So for Battleground, what we were doing is we were going to do a gathering that's going to involve like the community. As we're going to be like families there. It's going to be drumming, music, food, and a circle. And you go in, you fight your good fight. You shake hands before you go in. You shake hands afterwards. No winner, no loser. Just kind of taking it back to the a more African concept of how to display your bravery and your courage, to your community, and without having to worry about your hand being raised at the end or whatever else. You go, you fight, and then you shake hands, you eat, and you listen to music, and you be with your family, and So we wanted to do that, and we'll do that when we're allowed to gather and stuff. But I'm really looking forward to bringing that kind of energy into the historical martial arts community. I think that's when I do events for HEMA, and I've done quite a few. HEMA's been a really good sister organization for us to kind of help us to get a platform. What I do notice, what I do experience is when I teach classes to music, a lot of footwork, a lot of these aspects that people are kind of like, wow, it's like really, really interesting, really interesting stuff, and they really dig into that. So that's kind of some stuff we have on the in the future. We of course are working on our translation of the Mamluk Treatise. It's been a long road with that, but it's still coming. We have a good team together, and we are doing frequent updates on our I'll say WordPress, not WordPress, but on our on the WordPress, but on the Kickstarter. So look for that treatise to be coming out soon. It is a very difficult work, and translating classical Arabic into doing justice to a classical Arabic translation is not something that can be done easily and in a short period of time. So we're working to get the best translation out to the community. Thank you guys for helping us to do that. What else? I think I can say this now. So there's a sci-fi series called Johansi. It's it's a graphic novel that's being adapted to film, and the author contacted me. Well, I should say the opportunity presented itself for me to do fight choreography for Johansi. So I'm going to be doing all the action sequences for that. So it's going to be really cool to, infuse that with a lot of different styles of African martial arts. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. I forgot your original question, but I think it was like kind of telling.
That was yeah. What's new? What's going to be happening? What should people be excited about? I guess I also said if you want to say something about the Silent Slash Savage Sword,
Yeah.
tell people what that is and
Yes. So Silent Sword is my group. On my shirt you can't see it, but it says Seth Decote, which is a Soniki term, which means silent sword. Now, when I named my group Guild of the Silent Sword, or Seth Decote. Seth Decote was the praise name of a Soniki hero named Mamadi Seth Decote.
Mhm.
And
I read this story on the website, and it's really good.
yeah. So that was actually the first African epic, like heroic epic that I read. And so when I was looking for, because I do so many different things, I couldn't really come up with a term that like an umbrella term that kind of caught everything, because I'm all over the place. We're doing ancient Egypt, we're doing, Sudanic Africa, we're doing North Africa, we're doing the African diaspora, machete fencing, and whatever else. It's hard to find. That's why I have so many different names and stuff kind of associated with us. But I chose Silent Sword for my group based off of that. That was like the beginning of my journey to creating or co-founding or founding HAMA. So yeah. So that's kind of the history of us. And as an organization, I mean, we're focusing on since we're in the HAMA community, we're like the first group, the largest group. I'm just kind of focusing on keeping everybody engaged during the pandemic, keeping everyone training and progressing, so that when this passes, we can figure out what this new normal is. So yeah, we're doing fine. I'm offering like online classes through Zoom, and I was doing some on Facebook. Just like I said, trying to keep everybody engaged and keep the movement going. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think you've been doing great work, if I may say. That's a very noble aspiration you have there, and I respect it a lot. And I'm very grateful for you coming on and talking to me about this as well today, because you have a lot going on.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But,
Do you also sell? Are you making weapons, practice weapons and stuff? As we saw.
Yeah. So we started off making training swords. We actually started off fighting with like taped up sticks, and everyone else who was selling weapons or practice weapons, they were too expensive for us to afford, and none of them were too expensive for us to afford the types of swords we needed. So I happen to have like a couple of pieces of HDPE plastic, and I was like, okay, well, I'll go and I'll try to make some swords. And so I made some swords. I made some really bad swords, but I was like, oh wow, this is like, okay, I'm kind of getting this. So we started doing that more often, and this was just really out of survival. Like, we needed to get closer to training weapons that were close to dimensions. So we started doing that, and the more you do it, the more I got skilled at doing it, and the more I learned how to make them. And then from that, we've progressed into making wood, swords out of wood, aluminum, steel, bronze, even paper phenolic. So it's been a hell of a journey, and I've met some really, really cool people and had some really good experiences along the way. But yeah, so our company for making the trainers is Street Forge Armory, and yeah, so
check that out, everybody. If you're interested if you're really committed to learning one of these things, I'll put all the necessary links in the description box below and stuff, like YouTubers do. Yeah.
But we should video conference more often since we have the tech, So
yeah, we should. We absolutely should. It's been a delight to talk to you. And my head is buzzing right now with ideas about Kopesh and because of what you just said about stuff. So
yeah, it's crazy. Like I had to touch base with her again recently because I wanted to hear her theories again, just so that I could make sure I was understanding. Because I was really excited about the findings, the recent experiments they did with Irish Bronze Age swords. As far as did you see that
I think I came across some. Yeah, there's been some finds and stuff, hasn't there? And some work done.
Well, they did a reconstruction.
Yeah.
And they found these similar combat stress patterns on these swords that indicated that they were, possibly using a similar technique that people practice in HAMA today. So I was really excited about that type of information. And the problem is, like, we don't really find a lot of Kopesh that were proven to be on the battlefield.
Mm.
If we did, that would be like a holy grail. That would be like, oh wow, that would give us so much information. And until then, we have to just kind of use our common sense and be as intellectually honest as possible. So that's what I try to do.
Yeah, I think you do a good job of it. Damon, I'm really grateful to have had you on the show, to have talked to you, and to have been able to listen to your story and being able to share with people how they can get involved in it. But for now, that is the video, and I hope everybody enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, do all the things you're supposed to do before you leave the page. And if you have any comments or questions, obviously, well, the technology is there for you to use. And so from me, wherever you are in the world, have courage, have compassion, and have a great rest of your week or day, or whatever it is you're into.
Yeah.